Hello, my name is Clara and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to read tablature, or tab for short. This is the primary way that bluegrass banjo players learn their music. To begin, I'm going to show you what each of these lines mean when it comes to tab. In tab, each line represents a string on your banjo. The bottom string is going to be the string closest to your head, up. So this is the short G string. As we go up, the strings on the banjo go down towards the floor. So the bottom is our top string, the low or the high G string. Then we go to the low D, the middle G, the second B string, and the high D string. So the lines represent the string that we need to play with our right hand. What represents our left hand are the numbers that are placed on the line. The number on a line represents what fret you need to press the string down at. So for example, a 2 on the 4th string, the low D string, means that you are going to fret or press down the low D string, the 4th string, at the 2nd fret. A 0 represents an open string. You will not fret that string. So this means an open G string. And this goes for any fret up or down the fretboard. So as you can see, I have higher numbers up here, 7, 8. You can also go into the double digits with 12 or 14. Now, we know the strings. We know what frets to press the strings down at, but what we don't know is how to play them, or the rhythm of these notes. That is where stems and beams come in. A stem is a line vertically down coming from the number that tells you the fret. So all of these are stems. Now a beam connects two stems, two notes together. A beam is the horizontal line that connects the stems together. One beam means an 8th note. 2 beams mean 16th notes. So what do those mean? Here you can see that I've drawn you a rhythm chart. All of this information, all of these charts, all my explanation about stems and beams and lines and frets, all of that is located on a worksheet on my Patreon page. You can find the Patreon page link below in the description. You can see here that I've started with a whole note. If you were to break a whole note down into 2, you get 2 half notes. Breaking a half note into 2, you get 2 quarter notes. 1 quarter note into 2 is 2 eighth notes, and this is where our beams come in. 2 eighth notes look like this separately, but beamed, they look like this. And this is where the double beam comes in. A double beam means 2 16th notes, and 2 16th notes are worth the length of 1 eighth note. In banjo, you're going to see 4/4 and 2/4. Sometimes you'll see 3/4, but that is very easy to understand once you understand how these work. So, in 4/4 and in 2/4, the bottom note is 4. The bottom note in music tells you what note value gets the beat. Because it's a 4, that means it's the quarter note. So that means the quarter note is going to be worth 1 beat. 1 beat equals a quarter note, which means 2 beats equals a half note, and 4 beats equals a half note. It also means that you're going to need 2 of these eighth notes to equal 1 quarter, and 4/16 to equal a beat. Next thing I'm going to discuss is the top number of a time signature. The top number tells you how many of the beat unit you're going to have in each measure. So in 2/4, you are only going to have 2 quarter notes per measure. So the highest note value you can have in a 2/4 measure is a half note because it equals 2 quarter notes. Now in 4/4, that means that you're going to have 4 quarter notes per measure. So the highest note value you can have in a 4/4 measure would be a whole note because you can fit 4 quarter notes into 1 whole note. Now that you know that the lines in tablature represent strings, the numbered entablatures represent the frets, and the stems and beams represent the rhythmic value, you are almost able to read a tab. There's one other element that I want to show you, and they are 3 embellishments that you can use in your playing. They are a hammer-on, a slide, and a pull-off. Here I've notated a hammer-on, a slide, and a pull-off. You can see here that this is a 2 to 3 hammer-on on the B string. The only other thing this could be would be a slide because the fret value is going from lowest to highest, but it is notated as a hammer-on, so that means it's a hammer-on. The second example is a slide from 2 to 5 on the 4th string, the low D string. This wouldn't be able to be a hammer-on because the distance between the frets is too big. The third example is a 3/2 pull-off. You can tell this is a pull-off even without the P above it because the fret value is going from highest to lowest, and you wouldn't be able to hammer on backwards. Or you can slide backwards, but it is not very common. Another thing that you'll be seeing in tablature is right hand notation, and this is typically found below the lines, and it will say T for thumb, I for index, or M for middle, like so. I've written a thumb to play this 2 to 3 hammer-on on the B string with, another thumb to do this 2 to 5 slide on the 4th string with, an index to play this 3/2 pull-off with, and an M for the middle finger to play that open D string with. It's a good rule to know that your D string is going to be only played by your middle finger. Sometimes it can play the B string, but that typically only happens in melodic style playing. Your B, G, D, and high G strings can all be played with your thumb. Mostly it's on the G, the middle G, the low D, and the high G strings. But sometimes it comes down to the B string, like this hammer-on example, to give the hammer-on extra power. Your index finger will alternate between the B string and the G string. And those are the general right hand finger assignments to each of the strings on the banjo. Now that you know everything that you could possibly need to about tablature, let's get into these examples. The first example I have tabbed out is the first phrase to Worried Man Blues in a very beginner-friendly way. It starts with a quarter note in 4/4 time on the 4th string. This example highlights the forward roll, the forward-backward roll, and the alternating thumb roll. If you want to learn more about rolls, you can check out my rolls video at my channel. And you can also check out my Patreon page, which has exclusive content on how to identify roles in tablature. The next example I'm going to show is the same phrase and the same basic structure that I just played, but now with more embellishments. The next example that I have is a short lick that includes the hammer-on and the pull-off embellishment. And now you know everything that you need to know about how to read tablature. You can now learn any piece of music that you want, especially bluegrass banjo music, because this is how banjo players read music. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to check out my Patreon page. Thank you for watching.